we're celebrating. We're not just celebrating a wonderful season, we're celebrating the last 6 years. Leyton Orient were on their knees and they were relegated in the 22nd of April 2017 by Crewe. Today they have beaten Crewe to ensure that Leyton Orient are back in style, back as champions. Leyton Orient 2, Crewe 0. It has, and this afternoon we saw another penalty kick secured from the spot by George Moncur. It wasn't too so long ago that Leyton Orient missed so many penalties, and then it was Charlie Kelman that grabbed the second. But it is just wonderful what we see out the front. And again, look back 6 years ago against Colchester United, there were fans on the pitch, but that was a protest. That was a concern about the future of this club. There's no concern now. The club is in good hands. We have to say thank you to Kent Teague and to Nigel Travis for what they have achieved. We also say well done to Martin Ling, the director of football, to Matt Porter for all the work that he did during those dark days. But it's just wonderful. The pitch is flooded with the faithful, and there's banners, there's flares, it's just wonderful what we're seeing at the moment. The O's back as champions. Your final thoughts, Matt?
It's just incredible, Dave. Just enjoying every second, looking down, seeing so many faces, so many people you know and travelled the country with over the years. Haven't always had much success at this football club, so when moments and days like this come along, you've just got to enjoy it. It's absolutely superb. Soak it in.
Absolutely. Neil Silver's with us. Neil, we were saying at half-time we were together back with Hospital Radio in the late 80s, early 90s. It's wonderful what we're seeing now, isn't it, Neil?
Dave, I'm so happy. The fans have smothered the pitch in great spirits. It's a real party atmosphere. I'm also delighted for you, Dave. You've got to have a special mention because you've lived through this. I've seen your pain, I've seen your joy, and it ends on such a happy note. I think I knew Justin Edinburgh very well. What a memory, what a tribute this is to Justin and his family. And let's hope that the only way is up for Orient from now on, because they've done it in style.
They have. Justin would have been so proud of what's been achieved this season. And Ken Teague joined us at half-time. And Matt, we were saying that this has been a team effort.
Yeah, 100% from everyone. But you can have great teams, you can have good squads, you can have good characters. You always need a little bit of luck. But I think you have to give all the credit to the man who runs the ship, and that is Richie Wellens. Special manager from the moment he arrived at the club. I was really interested the other day listening to an interview he did with Lawrence Vigouroux, and Vigouroux spoke about when he first met Richie Wellens, when he knew he was going to become manager, and Richie Wellens said to him, look, I'm going to need you because we could go down. He came into a situation where Orient could have lost the league position once again, but what a turnaround. Since he came in, the job he's done has been absolutely exceptional. Lifted everyone from the back end of last season, built well in the summer, recruited well. It's been a fantastic season.
He has such clarity as a philosophy, and he's such a good communicator, and he's someone that motivates and inspires and challenges people. He's constantly asking for more.
I was here for his very first game in charge, and I remember you and I speaking to him after the game, and you get vibes from people, and when you've been covering this game for a long time, you get vibes from managers, and you know the managers that you'd want to play for if you were a footballer. And I've got to say, I don't mean to sound wise after the event, but from day one I thought Richie was quite inspirational, and he knew he had a good head on his shoulders, and it sounded like he had a game plan, and what a game plan. But not just Richie, because you interviewed Kent at half-time, Dave, and wasn't it great to hear him say they've already sat down and started planning for next year, talk budgets. They do it the right way at Leyton Orient, don't they?
We are the champions, and we are, and it's wonderful. I don't know about you, I feel quite emotional now, Matt.
Look, say, nights like Tuesday, days like today, you don't get them too often. When they do come around, you've got to enjoy it. You have to enjoy every second, and as you say, we've watched a lot of games over the years with this football club. Hasn't always gone the way we'd have hoped. So when they do come along, you've got to enjoy it. Fantastic. I'm loving every second, Dave.
And there's a symmetry that it's against Crewe because, as we've said, 6 years ago it was Crewe that confirmed Leyton Orient were going out of the Football League after 112 years. I shed a couple of tears then. I might do the same again now, Neil.
Well, at least they're going to be tears of joy this time. I mean, you talk about symmetry, and I've no doubt you mentioned this in your commentary, but I thought it was interesting that George Moncur got this journey started on day one of this season with the first goal of the season from the penalty spot. And his penalty this afternoon just calmed everybody down. You knew from that moment Orient were going up as champions. All right, they had a gift for the second goal, but as Matt said, sometimes you need a bit of luck, and you deserve a bit of luck. And who'd have thought there'd be probably 5,000 people on that pitch in front of us now, waving their scarves. Richie asked them to bring their red and white scarves. They've obliged. It looks a bit like the Cop, I think, apart from it's on a flat ground and not a hill. But what fantastic scenes, and they're going to take some doing to get this lot to go home, because they ain't going anywhere for a while by the looks of it.
Let's just take a moment, just listen to the faithful and savour these moments. They don't come very often.
I think they need to get, or at least try to ask the fans to get back into the stands, because if they do, the players will come out and do their lap of honour, and they deserve the credit, they deserve that celebration. You can only imagine what's going on in the dressing room. I'm sure there'll be TV cameras down there. Let's hope they are, and we can all watch it on telly tonight and see what the scenes were like in the dressing room, because moments like this don't come along often enough, and you've got to savour every single second of it, and certainly we are this afternoon.
We are. And of course there's another opportunity. There's a party planned for the Sunday after Stockport County, and Matt, we think that it will be the trophy that will be presented next Saturday when Stockport are in town. And they're a team that are still very much in search of points, aren't they?
They will. It'll be a tough game, but it's all done from an Orient perspective. Crowned as champions, promotion secured. These are happy times and moments, and I say, just looking down, so many faces I know personally, I've known for a long time. Wonderful to see them celebrating in this way and manner and have this opportunity. Magnificent. Rock Me Mama coming out over the tannoy system as well.
This is what they were playing in the dressing room, wasn't it, Matt, at the Priestfield Stadium?
Yeah, it's a tune I think George Moncur said he'd introduced to the players a long while back, and they kept it going, and George Moncur said he'd had a vision of them singing that in the dressing room when they'd achieved promotion. I bet it's going off in that dressing room right now, and it'll be on loudspeaker.
They're singing it on the pitch now, aren't they, Neil?
Yeah, and what's nice to see is it's people of all ages, it's men, women, children that are out there celebrating. They've got their banners up there. I know that we spoke to the press officer here before kick-off, and he said he'd prepared banners which say champions on them, and they're obviously going to get those ready for when the players come back out onto the pitch and they can celebrate. You know, there are so many scarves down there, so many banners, so many people singing, hugging each other. These are pure scenes of joy. We've got the mascots down by the dugouts as well, pumping the air. You've got the fans trying to get close. It doesn't get much better than this.
No, it certainly doesn't, does it, Matt?
No, not at all. It's great to see everyone, and great to see my dad alongside me, Dave.
Yes, so thank you, Neil. We're going to hand over to Paul now, and I think we should have a picture of you both, if I may. It's generations, and let's do this properly. Let's see if I can get a picture of you both with the supporters in the background. That's the way to do it. That's the way. Fantastic. Your thoughts, Paul? You've seen promotions in the past. Is there anything as special as this?
Yeah, I've seen all of them, Dave. I don't know. The current ones always seem to be the best. You live the moment, don't you? As we were saying to Kent Sieg at half-time. What I would say, Richie well inside thoroughly deserve this title, Dave. They are streets ahead of any other team in this division. People will say, oh, it's easy for you to say that. I actually think, and I'm sure you and Matt would appreciate, the more you see a team, the more likely you are actually to spot some deficiencies in them as well. There are very, very few, if any, deficiencies in this side. in this side here. He's done exceptionally well. I know all the plaudits and praise go to Richie Wellens and his backroom staff, but they thoroughly deserve it. Today's wasn't the best of performances. You're not going to get many of those at this stage of the season, Dave. All you want is the result, and we got the result.
It wasn't a bad performance, so was it? Under the circumstances, we were there with them. We saw how much the players were sort of celebrating and partying. You can understand from Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think it was always going to be interesting to see how the players would perform after Tuesday night. I understand they were pretty civilised on Tuesday. There wasn't anything major, but Wednesday night they went out, had a players' dinner. I would imagine a few drinks were there, and you just wonder, is there going to be a slight hangover from those celebrations? But tonight I thought they approached it well. I thought Crewe gave Orient a decent game. They had their opportunities. They could have really come under pressure from the opening 5-10 minutes, but they got a foothold in the game. As I say, for them it was a case of the chances they didn't take. Had they done so, might have been a very different outcome to what we're seeing right now.
And I think if the supporters do leave the pitch, there could be yet a lap of honour, Matt.
Yeah, that's the message. I saw Richie Wellens talking to one of the security staff saying, look, I want to start getting the supporters back off the pitch into the stands so we can get the players out and give them the honour that they deserve. And that's been organised as we speak, and good to see Orient supporters are making their way back to give the players that warm reception, and what a reception it'll be.
It really is, and of course we're doing it again next week with Stockport County in the trophy pool.
Oh yes, we'll be. Yes, more celebrations, Dave, and just in time for the voices that are pretty hoarse now, just to come back, ready for another game, on next Saturday, and another full of celebration. It's magnificent, isn't it? You don't wish your life away, but I'm looking forward to the next season's league fixtures, Dave.
Well, the players are in front of the dugouts. The squad is there. It's not just the players. They are ready for the lap of honour, and the majority of supporters have now made their way off the pitch, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. There's probably around 200-300 that are still around the dugout area, and that's why at the moment the players are going to have to wait and be patient. Obviously they're going to need to try and get these supporters back into the stands if the players are to come out.
I think it's going to be quite a tricky task to achieve, but we're almost there.
Makes more sense.
And Martin Ling has gone down there as well, and when Ken joined us at half-time, Paul, we were sort of saying what a major part Martin has played in this.
Yes, he has, hasn't he, Dave? And it's been terrific for him. His heart, obviously, with this club, spent many years on the playing staff, and then various management roles. Yeah, the club is dear to his heart. What a shrewd appointment it was to get him back when we did, because at the time we were really down on our knees, weren't we? Down on our luck.
And I think it's some of the players now on the microphone. They might not be able to do a lap of honour, so they're going to do the next best thing. They're in front of the players' dugout, and they're leading the singing and chanting. And some of the other supporters, I think they've given up, hoping to see a lap of honour, and they're coming back on the pitch, Matt.
Yeah, and there goes a bit of champagne from Paul Smith. The first bottle has been opened at Brisbane Road. Paul Smith, the Northern Irish winger.
Lawrence Figueroa now on the mic, and I think a bit of rap, isn't that?
Yeah, unprecedented scenes, I think, this really, Dave, at Brisbane Road, isn't it? Celebrations are absolutely tremendous. I know we've won promotions before. I can't remember quite scenes like this, though, Dave.
No, I can't recall anything quite like this, or a promotion like this one, the one that's seen Leyton Orient top for the majority of the campaign, Paul. No,
indeed, Dave. I mean, they're pretty conclusive, isn't it? It's going to be, I don't know how many points we're going to win by the end, doesn't matter. We're title holders, we won the championship anyway. We'll get the presentation next season. Go back to the last time, well, we won the Division 3 under Jimmy Bloomfield. I don't think it was quite as convincing as this. The way that Richie Wellens sets his sides up to play. Interestingly, I mean, given the few amount of goals that we've conceded, you know, you have to point to the fact that, say, it isn't a defensive lineup setup, is it? The way we play, people think, oh, you hit sides on the counter. We don't. We defend high up the field. That's why, Dave. We get the ball in the high places and takes the pressure off the defence.
And Matt, for a serious moment, is it the fact that Leyton Orient have got promotion in the manner that they have, playing football the way that they have? Will that be something that will be of real value next season in League One?
Yeah, possibly so. I think, as I say, from an Orient perspective, you don't care how you get promotion. If you get results, if you play strong, physical football, winning 1-0 every week, then so be it if it gets you the success. But I think next year you will require a little bit more quality, and Richie Wellens has that in his side. They will need to invest. They will need to certainly buy and recruit well. But Richie Wellens, the style of football he has, it's certainly attractive on the eye.
You have to remember as well, Dave, I think in the running, we've been without Theo Archibald, who was such an integral part of our run before Christmas and just after. He's been missing. We've had to compensate with various players. Injuries and suspensions always hit every team, but he has got that really good squad able to compensate for the key players as and when they went missing.
It was Richie Wellens on the mic, and I think Richie has got a message or two for the supporters in a moment. We wait and see. Simon O'Connor standing just behind him, and I don't think there's going to be a lap of honour, is there, Matt?
I can't see it happening now. I must be honest, there's a fair amount of Orient supporters that have also made their ways to the exit. They've enjoyed the moment, the celebration.
Here we go. I think everybody's going to get involved in this one. Hi-ho, silver lining here at Brisbane Road.
And the reality is, Dave, we'll be listening to this tune next season, potentially at Hillsborough. That is how defining it is. Orient could be playing Sheffield Wednesday next season in League One. They'll certainly be up. Let's hope that we have a day out at Hillsborough as well. Magnificent.
Absolutely. Just listen to this. I think we'll be quiet for a moment and we'll just hand you over to the faithful. So fantastic scenes here on the pitch. Your final thoughts, Matt?
Just speechless for once, Dave.
I know what you mean.
Speechless for once. I just, enjoying it. In a magnificent season, special. These scenes are emotional.
They really are, and it's together. And again, you've got to remember how there was this disconnect between the supporters and certainly the players and the management before Richie came.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we are getting the supporters making their way off the pitch. I think we're going to possibly see the lap of honour as the crowd start to disperse.
Yes, there could yet be a lap of honour. I'm not sure if anybody's listening. Even we might have been turned off by now, Matt. If someone could let us know if you can hear us, that would be very helpful. Otherwise, I'll go down there and join in the fun, wouldn't you, Matt?
Well, I'd say we always try and maintain our professionalism as long as we possibly can, whether it's win, lose or draw. But I'd say I'm sure there'll be a few on the audio still connected, listening in, enjoying it at home or wherever they are around the world, because these are important times.
They are. I'm not sure if the lap of honour is going to wait until next week. The Orient players are going down the tunnel.
Yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it? We'll have a big celebration, a big party next weekend. The job has been done. Orient are league champions.
They certainly are. Well, I think I better go downstairs because I might even have a chance to talk to Richie soon.
Yeah, it's best to get in before he starts popping the bubbly.
Thank you for everything this season and for the last 6 years and before. We've been some interesting places together. We've done it some interesting ways, haven't we? Mobile phones and other bits and pieces.
Absolutely, yeah, you say. I mean, I think thinking about this the other day, actually, I think this is my 14th year doing commentary with you. I remember my first game was Martin Ling was still manager when I did my first one, and we've seen a lot go on during that time, but I enjoy it as much as I did the first time. It's always a privilege to be alongside you, Dave, and just days like this make it worth it.
And apparently we're still with us. Richard J. Bourne is still listening. Thank you, Richard. Well, Richard, I think this is it. Everybody's sort of slowly making their way home with huge beams on their faces. This is such a special time to feel proud of our wonderful football club. I forgot to tell the scoreline on BBC Radio London. It finished, by the way, Leyton Orient 2, Crewe 0. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll do it all again on Tuesday. See you, man.
Cheers, Dave. See you up there.
Thank you, everyone.